An unforgettable journey to Alaska. The air was cold, crisp, and full of magic. For Daniel and his wife Laura, this was the beginning of an adventure they had dreamed about for years, a trip to Alaska. They had always wanted to escape the noise of the city and spend time somewhere wild and beautiful. Alaska sounded like the perfect place: mountains, forests, lakes, and endless skies. It was early morning when they landed in Anchorage. The sun was rising slowly behind the snowy peaks, and the air felt so fresh that Laura took a deep breath and smiled. "It smells like freedom," she said softly. Daniel laughed. "And cold freedom," he replied, rubbing his hands. They rented a small van that had a sleeping area in the back, their home for the next 10 days. Daniel had brought his favorite portable grill, and Laura packed food, blankets, and a small guitar. They wanted to live simply, cook, sleep under the stars, and enjoy nature together. As they drove north, the landscape changed. Tall pine trees surrounded them, rivers sparkled in the sunlight, and sometimes they saw eagles flying high above. The road was long, but they didn't mind. They sang songs, took photos, and stopped often to admire the view. By the afternoon, they reached a quiet lake hidden between mountains. The water was clear like glass, reflecting the blue sky. There was no one around, just them and the sound of wind in the trees. "This is it," Daniel said, stepping out of the van. "Our camp for tonight." Laura looked around with wide eyes. "It's perfect," she whispered. They set up their small camp, a tent near the lake, chairs by the fire pit, and a cooler full of food. Daniel gathered wood, while Laura prepared vegetables and marinated some meat for their barbecue. As the sun began to set, the sky turned orange and pink. The lake shimmered with colors, and the mountains looked like golden giants in the distance. Daniel started the fire, and soon the air filled with the smell of grilled food and wood smoke. Laura sat near the fire, warming her hands. "I can't believe how beautiful it is," she said. Daniel flipped the meat and smiled. "It's even better than I imagined. No traffic, no noise, no phones, just us and the world." They ate together under the sky, laughing and talking about everything. The food tasted better than ever, maybe because they were hungry, or maybe because they were happy. When it got darker, the stars began to appear, thousands of them, brighter than they had ever seen before. Laura lay on the blanket, looking up. "It's like the universe is watching us," she whispered. Daniel lay beside her. "And maybe it's smiling," he said softly. The next morning they woke up early. The air was freezing, but the sunrise was magical. A thin layer of mist danced over the lake. Daniel made coffee on the small camping stove, and they sat together, wrapped in blankets, watching the world wake up. Later, they decided to go hiking. The trail led them through tall trees, over small bridges, and up to a hill that offered a breathtaking view of the valley. From there, they could see rivers, mountains, and forests stretching endlessly. Laura took Daniel's hand. "Promise me we'll come back someday," she said. "I promise. Maybe next time with our kids." They both laughed. When they returned to the camp, Daniel prepared another fire. This time, he grilled fresh fish they bought from a local fisherman. Laura played her guitar softly while he cooked. Her voice echoed gently in the quiet air, mixing with the sound of the crackling fire. That evening, they danced by the firelight, laughing like children. It didn't matter that no one was watching. The mountains, the stars, and the lake were their only audience. "Do you realize," Daniel said, "that we are in one of the most beautiful places on Earth?" Laura smiled. "Yes, and I'm with the most beautiful person I know." He laughed, blushing. "You just want me to cook again tomorrow." "Exactly," she said, and they both laughed harder. Days passed, but every day felt new. Sometimes they drove to nearby villages, met kind locals, and bought homemade bread and berries. Other times they just stayed near the lake, reading, cooking, or talking for hours. One night, the temperature dropped below zero, and snow started to fall, slowly, quietly. They sat inside their van, wrapped in blankets, watching the snowflakes cover the world in white. It was silent, peaceful, and perfect. "I never want this moment to end," Laura said. Daniel nodded. "Then let's make it last forever in our memory." When the trip was finally coming to an end, they stood one last time by the lake. The air was cold, but their hearts were warm. Daniel looked around. "This place changed me," he said. "It reminded me what really matters: love, peace, and simple happiness." Laura smiled softly. "And grilled fish," she added. They both laughed. As they drove back toward the city, they looked out the window one last time, at the endless forests, the mountains, and the shining rivers. Alaska had given them more than just a trip. It had given them a piece of their souls back. That night, when they returned home, Daniel unpacked the camping gear and placed a small stone he had taken from the lakeshore on the table. "What's that for?" Laura asked. "It's a reminder," he said, "that our best days weren't spent chasing success. They were spent chasing sunsets." She hugged him tightly. "Then let's never stop chasing them," she whispered. Outside, the night was calm, but in their hearts, Alaska still burned bright, a place where love, nature, and peace became one.